Hi, we're Roy and Karen, and this is our week nowhere near the villages.
We just came back from an RV adventure. All right, before I can get into what this trip was about, I gotta tell you how it came about. We've been wanting to go to certain Florida state campgrounds, and they're really popular, and you just can't get in. We wanted to go to the Keys. There's 3 Florida state campgrounds down the Keys. You can't get in. And then we found out about this particular Facebook group where people post their cancellations, and then they'll coordinate with one another. Well, somebody was letting Bahia Honda go in the Keys, and they had a week and they let it go, and I was able to grab 2 nights on a Tuesday and Wednesday. Let's leave Friday night like we usually do, and we'll go figure out what we're gonna do. We'll figure out some stuff to do.
Build a trip around it.
Correct. So we'll figure out the Saturday, Sunday, Monday until we get there. We did make arrangements for a campground, a Miami City campground.
Way out on the edge. Not too far from Homestead.
Correct. And that was going to be our home base for the first half of this trip. It's very close to the Everglades. And we started making all these plans months ago, before the heat got here. So initially I said, we'll spend a couple of days in the Everglades. But by the time it's getting to be the first week in August, and it's just, is it Hades or is it paradise, honey?
Yes.
We decided, and we're watching all these videos with people wearing mosquito nets over their faces, and we're just getting terrified.
Like, what are we doing, and where are we going? Why are we going here?
So we chopped the Everglades down to 1 day and 1 overnight. But we'll get there. We leave Friday night. We get to our Miami campground, and first thing in the morning, we're running out the door. We gotta go do an airboat tour. We went to this place called Coopertown Airboats, and it turns out to be the very first Everglades airboat tour company. It's 75 years old.
And it's Cooper. It's got to be good.
Okay. They had terrific exhibits, and they had a guy who was talking to us about, educating us about the area and about alligators, and he had a little baby alligator. He's saying, "Here, would you like to touch?"
They had rescue. They were taking care of some of the animals that needed some help.
Right. And this was the first of a few times where we didn't have the camera going and something extraordinary happened. And it happened multiple times during this trip. It's just the luck of the draw. You can't have the camera going 24/7. But there was a guy playing, one of the employees there, playing with one of the alligators, and the alligator snapped. He did it on purpose. And it was so loud, we all just jumped. And I wished I was watching it, but it happened so fast, and I didn't get it on film.
Oh, wow.
We went out on the airboat.
Slow pace. It was beautiful. Very slow pace. I mean, I guess my reference point was our previous airboat tour, and that was a whole different thing.
But let's stick on this one just for the moment. We did learn things that we didn't know about before. For example, pond apples.
Yep, never heard of pond apples. I now know God has a different type of laxative, not just prunes.
He told us if you eat those,
you will go quickly and frequently for a while.
One of the things I didn't do on a previous airboat tour, I didn't take the GoPro, and I didn't stick it in the water. I wanted to see what was down there, because we have now been to some springs where amazing things get caught on film when I stick the GoPro down
Right. I
there.
have no idea what's under there, and then you look at it.
That water was gross.
It was very, very
It's
not clear.
swamp. It's very swampy. But I was playing with it, and the next thing you know, oh, there's an alligator right by my arm. Terrifying. But makes for good video. But you were saying that it wasn't the same as a previous airboat tour we took.
Right.
We took Swamp Fever Adventures, I think is what they were called.
In Lake Panisofsky.
Correct. And I think it was so much better. I think we went into areas that were gorgeous, and we saw more wildlife.
We got to see the habitat and the nature, and they described it, and we went slow through there, but we also got to go fast across the lake.
And I think part of that is once you've lived in Florida for a year and a half and you've done some of the things around here, well, we've seen alligators. So to see alligators at the Everglades, been there, done that.
And we saw less alligators there than
we do here at home.
walking the dogs in the morning.
And had we just come out from California, went to the Everglades, it would have been all
amazing.
brand new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the trip in Lake Panisofsky was with a group of friends, the people that we knew. I mean, a whole different experience.
Absolutely. The reason that we had to get to Coopertown Airboat as early as we did is because we had a reservation to go to Biscayne National Park, and they have an institute over there. It'll take you out and do snorkeling. And we have an appointment. And it was feeling like we really weren't on vacation yet because we had to get up and do the airboat tour. We had to get moving. We had to rush to get to Biscayne. This was the first time that we started seeing iguanas. And we saw iguanas crossing the road. And it was so funny. We saw a family crossing, and it looked like a little mini Jurassic Park. It was strange. Again, no camera going. They just went by so fast that I couldn't catch it. But really, it just looked like little mini brontosauruses crossing the road. It was amazing.
But we were able to capture them after the tour. As the sun was starting to come down, they seemed to come out more and move a little slower for us.
And we've seen the iguanas in multiple places as this trip progressed. The journey on the boat was hosted by basically a couple of naturalists
that work with a nonprofit. One was a captain
and she was driving the boat, and one was just there, just talking the whole time that we were on our way to the reef
and assisting the captain, and it was good. They were very, very knowledgeable. They were very, very personable, and I've never been to a national park that's 90% plus underwater.
That's the thing about Biscayne. So we're down the reef and we're looking at it, and snorkeling is such a magical thing for us. We love to do it, and we've done it in some amazing places like Cozumel.
We went out to a reef in the Atlantic, and it was pretty protected, so it was swimmable, but it's like, okay, that's so nice to float and be in the water when it's hot.
But because we're so accustomed to snorkeling, and because we've seen better, but we still enjoy it, we ended up just holding hands. We didn't need to go adventuring. We just needed to be together. So we were holding hands and snorkeling together and just being in the water. I wish I could say the nice cool water, but the nice 90-degree water.
Because we always try to plan a trip sometime around our anniversary, and this one happened to be it.
Our anniversary comes up this coming weekend. After you've seen this video, if you're watching it the day it comes out. We all get back on the boat, and we have a choice to make. Would we like to go to another reef, or would we like to go and snorkel in the mangroves? Now, we've never been to the mangroves.
Nope.
We've never had that experience. And it turns out none of the other participants had done it either. So we all agreed, let's go. Well, we get there. The first thing is the watercolor changes. And you can notice that it's not that beautiful, clear, turquoise water.
Very murky.
It's murky.
And right around the corner from it was this pile of boats of partiers hanging out that are just having a good old time, and it just kind of took away from the whole natural experience that I was expecting. So,
and then as you get closer to the mangroves, the water is getting more shallow. And by the time you actually get to the mangroves, you're in like 2 feet of water, maybe less. I felt like my face was right in the silt. They had told us what we needed to do was stick our heads into the mangroves and then wait till our eyes adjust to the darkness, and then we'll see eyes looking back at us. I stuck my head in there.
I didn't see a thing.
Well, we didn't let our eyes adjust, but I was so claustrophobic from it, and I'm never claustrophobic. I just said, I'm out of here.
Yeah. I chose an area where I could actually swim in a little ways, but then I felt like I was being pushed, and I didn't want to go any further, and the waves were pushing me just the way.
And so it just wasn't our thing. We just prefer the beautiful colors of the reef as compared to waiting for our eyes to adjust to the pitch black and sticking our head on the roots. And by the way, they told us, if you see anything orange, don't touch it. That's called a fire sponge, and it'll burn you. Well, these roots were covered in this orange stuff, and I'm not. No, we're out of here. As I'm returning to the boat, out of nowhere, this school of jacks surrounded me. It was a school going around in a circle around me. You can't tell that I'm doing this, but I'm actually turning the camera that you're watching right now, and they're just all around me. It was extraordinary.
Great experience.
Unbelievable. Oh, they also told us to keep our eyes out for the purple golf balls. I don't remember the name of the sponge, but
that was coral.
You're seeing video of the sponge, the fire sponges also. As much as the mangrove wasn't my favorite, there's always something that's going to happen when you're on an adventure.
And it was a wonderful experience.
We made it back to the Miami campground, put that air conditioning on. Boys were happy to see us. And day number 2. This could have been a day we spend in the Everglades. But like I said, we decided it was just too hot to be spending the day in a swamp.
And too buggy.
So we decided, let's go visit the Upper Keys. The first stop, as soon as we get on the Keys, the visitor center. Now, the visitor center isn't a true visitor center. It really is a souvenir shop. Everybody recommended that this be the first stop. If you've got a question about where to go, what to do, where to eat, what beach to go to the visitor center, check in there, and they'll answer all your questions. Hama, honey, where are we?
We have just hit our first key stop at Key Largo.
Key Largo. And we heard that coming over here to this visitor center is a good first place because we can ask them all kinds of questions like, the most important things. Like,
where's the best key lime pie?
Where's the best fish tacos?
Yeah.
So, let's go inside. Come on.
Let's turn around.
And the first thing we see when we walk in the door, a banana shirt.
He needs a shirt.
And I don't think I own a teal colored shirt.
And nothing with bananas on it.
Nothing with bananas on it. So I gotta get it. Now they had another shirt there, and it was watermelons. And we kept thinking about the new Franklin Recreation Center.
Like, any event there would be perfect.
Which is watermelon themed. But I just decided, I think the bananas really suit me, honey.
Gone a little bananas.
Maybe. So we got done with the visitor center and we started heading south, and first place we stopped was Isla Morada. And the first stop in Isla Morada was... Well, honey, you know where we are?
Uh-huh.
You think we should let them in on it? Yeah. No, I think we should. I think we should show them where we are. We came to see Betsy. I'm guessing the world's largest lobster. I don't know if there's any other reason to be here at the Rain Barrel than to see Betsy. But let's go in and find out.
We've seen it.
A new Manny? So when we got done visiting Betsy, we were hungry. And we had been talking, I don't know, for days, I think, about fish tacos. I guess when you go to the Keys, that's
something you might get.
When I was checking all the places that we might want to hit, the moment I saw the pictures of this place, there was no place where we could eat right on the sand. Are you hungry, my honey?
Mm-hmm.
You ready for some fish tacos?
You betcha. I've been wanting fish tacos. Ooh, look. There's the rooster.
I think that is wonderful.
Right there.
Where? Where am I looking? Oh!
There's another one in there. They're all over. It's a good place to have lunch.
I would say I don't even care if the food's good or not.
Yeah.
Look at this view.
Yeah. I have the mahi fish tacos.
They're
tacos. Blackened mahi with cotija cheese and lime cilantro
And what do I got? I got that sea bass thingy. Oh, but we're gonna share, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to try one of yours. The food was terrific.
It was amazing. Very, very, very flavorful. Good, well done. These people are talented.
And you know how sometimes you go places and they have maybe birds that come by and are begging for food? We had iguanas begging for food.
Yes.
Come here, boy, want some? I was throwing them stuff. And Karen's like, what are you doing? We get done with the Morada Bay Cafe.
Oh, stuffed. Now I'm sleepy.
Hi, boys. And the next stop, and it really came upon us very quickly. We're going over a bridge and boom, we see it right down there, is Robbie's. And that's one of the places you have to stop to feed the tarpon. Okay. No, we didn't get.
Knocked it out.
Okay, I felt it. Oh, look. So they are getting me.
Did that hurt?
No, it's not hurting, but I'm bleeding.
Their teeth, I think, are like sandpaper.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt, but I've had enough. Here. We did it. I got a few.
Bucket of fish.
I got a bucket of fish and I did the thing. And it was funny because you don't feel a thing. You do not feel it when they come up and they grab the fish out of your hand. But when you look at I looked at my hand, I was bleeding. And somebody said it's because their mouths feel like sandpaper. And so I just got like an abrasion or something. But I tell you what, it didn't hurt at the time, didn't hurt later. And we had one fish left and I saved it for my honey.
Had to do it.
It's time for my honey to do it.
You want me to get an injury too?
Yeah, you need to. It doesn't hurt, I promise.
I've been through tougher things than this. I'm scared. I just don't want to fall in. Oh!
Okay, that was fast. And you didn't get any blood.
No blood.
Yeah, she's thicker skinned than I am.
I had a big old hungry fish just snatched that sucker and took off.
Yeah, it was fun. It's an experience. We were there for 5 minutes and then we got out. We had more places we wanted to go see. And what are they? Oh, I remember now. Where are we going?
We are going to Sombrero Beach.
Oh.
Without the dogs who wanted to come with.
They definitely wanted to come.
We are on Marathon Key.
We are on Marathon Key. But I knew that at some point, let's go somewhere and just go to the beach and relax and maybe float in the water. And I found this beach called Sombrero Beach on Marathon Key. And from checking out the maps and such, I could see there's parking everywhere. We should have no issue. But when we get there,
no RV parking.
It says no RV parking at every single spot. But we did get to the very beginning of the beach, and there was a huge expanse of area
empty
where
parking
completely
places.
Empty. Nobody parked in there. It said no RVs, but I just parked. And then I went and paid, and then we went to the water, and the water was okay. But we just kept worried about the RV
parking enforcement
in the
might
wrong
come back.
place. It's hard to just sit there. Yeah, I really wanted to hang out for an hour, and we just couldn't. We just couldn't. We just worried about getting a ticket. So
it wasn't like, oh, this is amazing. I want to just stay. I'll pay
exactly.
the ticket.
Yeah. We started working our way back. There were places we never did get to. We didn't see the history of diving museum. We didn't make it to the Turtle Hospital. I really wanted to see that. But we did have second thoughts on the way back, and we stopped at... So where are we going now?
Well, this is our last stop for today before our last stop at the campground.
Okay. And where is it?
Be at the Blond, Giraffe key lime pie factory, because I need my key lime pie.
Okay. This place was recommended by those in the know as being the best key lime pie in the Keys. Let's go find out if they're right.
Let's see.
No pets allowed. Hi.
What can I get you?
Well, I've had key lime pie,
Right.
but I was told if I come here, I'll find out what
Of course,
real.
completely blow over the perspective. You're gonna 100% love it. Alrighty. Did you guys want to have this license in the garden at all, or is everything together?
Oh, I want to go back to the air conditioning. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the RV and go check it out. All right, let's go do it.
Yeah, get the dog bite.
What did you think of your key lime pie, honey?
It was delicious. Amazing, delicious, worth all the pain because we don't eat that way anymore.
Yeah. When we eat sweets, we get nauseous. Nauseous. So some things are worth having, just so you know what the original, the traditional, what it's supposed to be, what it's supposed to taste like. It doesn't mean it's the best you'll ever have. It's just that is what key lime pie is supposed to be. And now we've had it. I can tell you, we've had better. When we went to historic Mayport and we went to Singleton's restaurant, we had what was a key lime pie more like
Key lime cheesecake.
Yes.
It was so good.
It was so complex. Whereas this key lime pie was monochromatic. It was key limes.
No question.
The one over at Singleton's just had so much going on. It took so long to absorb all that was going on in our mouth. That's the end of part one. We're heading back to the Miami campground again, and for the next few days we've got Everglades National Park coming up, we got Bahia Honda, we've got Key West, and when it's done, when I'll have that video up, I'm gonna stick it into this RV playlist right over here, and you can check it out then. In the meantime,
We appreciate you stopping by.
see ya.